If you like what I do, consider joining my channel or donating to my coffee. Links in the description.
What could possibly go wrong? Somebody dial 911. Is there a veterinarian in the audience? Go ahead, make my day. My contract does not mention pain. Oh, are you still playing this thing?
VP Games, presumably short for Vincent Pinning Games, is the one-man studio run by Vincent Pinning, the developer behind the exceptional Super Roboy and, more importantly for today's video, the creator of Grumpy Jack. And that's basically my intro. I usually kick these videos off by telling you what caught my eye, and in this case, it was simple. Vincent Pinning made a new game. His last one kicked ass. Why wouldn't I check out the next? But what's Grumpy Jack even about? Grumpy Jack follows a grizzled, foul-mouthed, pumpkin-headed gardener who accidentally skewers the game's hero and is immediately forced by Death himself to take over as the main protagonist. Now, Jack has to finish the quest and defeat the Dark Lord, after retrieving Death's coffee cup first, naturally. As you can see, this is a Halloween-themed adventure that's less about chilling you to the bone and more about tickling your funny bone. But is this reluctant pumpkin's journey worth taking, or is this a story we should squash?
Combat.
To put it simply, Grumpy Jack is an overhead, bullet hell Microvania. I don't think we have too many of those out there. It's 4 in the morning while I type this script out, so my brain's a little hazy, but as far as bullet hell MVs, you have Rabby Ribby, Tevi, and the Night Witch. And they're all side-scrollers. I mean, Rain can fly, but it's still technically from a side perspective, and Mini Shoot Adventure is an overhead bullet hell, but it's not a Microvania, so Grumpy Jack might be the first of its kind. Yeah, let's go with that. Anyway, yup. You can beat Grumpy Jack in 2 to 3 hours at 100%. Took me 2 hours and 20-ish minutes. And you'll be dodging a whole bunch of projectiles. Jack can fire projectiles back, of course, and he gets 3 swappable weapons total to dole out damage. A sword that shoots mid-ranged projectiles, a hammer called Michael Waxen that's strong but can't fire projectiles, and a magic wand that's weak but fires long-ranged fireballs. And that's combat. You shoot enemies while trying not to get shot yourself. It's a tried and true formula that's as fun today as it's ever been. Fortunately for Jack, he gets some tools to help him not get shot. A dash sans iframes, a shield to block bullets, and a shield to deflect bullets for extra damage. And if he does get shot, you can unlock healing jars to patch yourself up. For extra damage, Jack can use special charged melee attacks to really bring the pain. But first, he's got to have this meter charged up before he can charge up. And you charge it by collecting enemy drops. The game's bosses are a lot of fun. I found them mostly to be on the easy side, but I was playing the game on normal, so if I wanted a tougher challenge, I could just crank it up or down in the menu. But yeah, on normal difficulty, you're not going to come up against too much resistance from these bosses. Except the final boss. The Dark Lord actually took me down a few times before I figured things out. Overall, boss fights were a highlight. Challenging enough to keep me moving, but relaxed enough so I didn't have to fight them more than a couple of times. And that's it for combat. Grumpy Jack's combat is a fast, frantic blend of bullet hell chaos and simple, satisfying weapon swapping. Dodging dense projectile patterns, juggling 3 distinct weapons, and timing charged melee strikes keeps encounters lively without ever feeling overwhelming. The defensive tools, dashes, shields, and deflections, add just enough nuance to keep you moving, and the boss fights strike a sweet spot between approachable and engaging, with the Dark Lord offering a final spike of real challenge. It's a compact, energetic combat system that delivers exactly the kind of fun a 2-hour micro-adventure needs. And with the game being so easily digestible, it's just begging for replays on higher difficulties.
Abilities, platforming.
I'll keep this short and sweet. Grumpy Jack isn't a platformer, at least not in the traditional sense. You'll be dodging traps and dashing over pits as if you were platforming, but this game's focus isn't platforming. It's shooting at shit. As for abilities, you get a ton, and some play double duty as keys for ability gates, like the shield that protects you from lasers and Michael Waxen's capability to destroy certain rocks. The game does have puzzles though. A couple of those lights out puzzles, I don't know what they're really called, but that's what I call them because I played with the lights out when I was a kid, and this clever statue puzzle in the later game biomes. Nothing mind-melting, but fun distractions with nice rewards nonetheless. And that's it for this section. There be no jumping around in Grumpy Jack.
Progression.
For such a short game, Grumpy Jack has a lot of things to upgrade. Being a Metroid-like, there's no XP or leveling, but there is a skill tree. You unlock nodes by finding gems out in the world and then going to Russell Crowe the Scarecrow, yes, really, to spin them. This is how you increase your HP and mana and all kinds of other things. Grumpy Jack has a central hub where all the NPCs move to once you find them and finish their side quests. You got this Ghost to upgrade your weapons in exchange for ore, this dude who gives you Estus flasks in exchange for jars, Frankie who gives you rewards for breaking gold pots, and this Axolotl who will show you where all the game's collectibles are for some coin. And that's it for progression. There's a lot to upgrade in Grumpy Jack, and everything you upgrade feels impactful and makes for an adventure that feels like it has some real scaling, even in the brief time you're with it.
Exploration.
Grumpy Jack's less about exploration and more about surviving an onslaught of bullets. But that doesn't mean there aren't things to collect and secrets to uncover. Hidden passages and puzzles are all over the place, and backtracking is very rewarding, but the overall adventure is pretty linear. The game does have a pretty decent map and fast travel system though. Matter of fact, so much of the game is streamlined so you can get everything and everywhere faster. Remember, this is a Microvania. It's all about momentum, and Grumpy Jack does a great job at that. And I guess that's it for exploration. I don't really have much to say about level or world design. Grumpy Jack's more like a fast-paced arcadey action game than a methodical Metroidvania. Exploration is rewarding though. Collecting materials to upgrade your skill tree, weapons, and health potions always gives you a blast of dopamine.
Atmosphere. Narrative.
If you couldn't tell from the opening, I'll lay it out straight for you. Grumpy Jack is goofy. The premise is goofy, the dialogue is goofy, the weapon names are goofy. This is a highly unserious game full of lame dad jokes and terrible puns. So, it's awesome. This game also has a mouth on it, so be careful playing it around kids. The presentation's nice. I love the hand-drawn graphics and emotive character portraits. I thought the music was serviceable, and I really liked the sound design, probably because a lot of the sound assets were also used in Super Roboy, which is a game you all should check out because it's so good. As for the narrative, you guessed it, goofy. There's not much going on here, and that's by design. You're given your objective to take down the Dark Lord, and that's what you're gonna do, cracking jokes and breaking the fourth wall all the while. There are a couple of endings you can get based on whether you've 100%ed the game or not. None are gonna knock your socks off, but they're fine for what they are. And that's it for this section. Grumpy Jack's atmosphere and narrative lean fully into their own absurdity, embracing goofy dialogue, dad-tier puns, and a proudly unserious tone that keeps the whole adventure light and charming. The hand-drawn art and expressive portraits give the world personality, the sound design pops, and the story stays intentionally simple. Nothing here is meant to be deep. It's meant to be fast and fun. And on that front, Grumpy Jack absolutely delivers.
Final thoughts and score.
Grumpy Jack is a short, sharp, proudly silly action game. Fast, funny, and fun from start to finish. Its frantic bullet-dodging combat, hand-drawn presentation, and barrels of dad jokes make it an easy game to like. The adventure is brief but punchy, the upgrades feel meaningful, and the whole experience moves with a momentum that keeps you smiling right up to the final boss. It's not a game that'll change your life, but it is one that will brighten your evening. I award Grumpy Jack an 8 out of 10. Grumpy Jack is available on PC. I played the game exclusively on the Steam Deck with 0 issues, and therefore give it a Steam Deck rating of verified.
Tier placement.
Grumpy Jack takes the Metroidvania formula and distills it into a fast, overhead Microvania built on momentum, upgrades, and constant forward motion. It's a compact and interestingly tuned take on the genre that delivers a decent Metroidvania loop in a bite-sized form. However, its exploration isn't the most engaging, and the lack of real platforming and the focus on arcade action makes the experience feel more like a roided-up gauntlet than a search action affair. It's a great pick-up-and-play action game that's great for replaying on harder difficulties, but it's not something that'll satiate gamers looking for an MV fix. Grumpy Jack reluctantly becomes the hero in the D tier. Being so low on the tier list doesn't mean Grumpy Jack is a bad game. It's just not a Metroidvania you should prioritize. And that's okay, because if you're looking for an excellent and fast-paced overhead shooter, Grumpy Jack is a gourd choice.